Yeah, happy to introduce you all to Jalen Nailor from Michigan State. First wide receiver we got to take in the draft, and anytime on day 3 you're looking to add playmakers, Keenan McCardell always talks about a guy that can ring the bell. And Jalen scored 6 touchdowns this year, 12 in his career. One of the things that people probably don't know about him is Michigan State coming out 8-0 in games that he started. Then he got hurt, came back for the bowl game, and knocked it out of the park in the bowl game. So he's a winner, scores touchdowns, and glad to add him into the mix.
All right, we'll start with questions. Dave Campbell, go ahead.
And Mike, just how do you like, and how do the coaches like the way his skill set fits with the offense that they want to run now?
Yeah, one of the best things he does is after the catch. I think again, we're always looking for guys that can finish and score, and so that's one of the things. I know Keenan was in there pounding the table for him. I know they spent a lot of time with him. They did a FaceTime with him just to get to know him a little bit better, and so we're excited to see what he can do, learning from both our coaching staff and the veteran group that we have around him.
Andrew, followed by Ben.
Hey, Mike, I'm just curious to get your thoughts on what you guys saw in terms of his play speed, just on the field. I mean, it seems like he's got a history of running fast, obviously with track in high school. And how have you seen that kind of translate to what Michigan State did with him?
Yeah, I think the best thing he does is get him the ball on the run, get him in space, and he runs away from people. So, create separation with the speed and then pull away at the second level. And I just think well-rounded athlete. Altogether, strong competitive blocker. He just does a lot of things well. He's returned some kickoffs for them, and I think just a nice skill set. Huge value where we got him.
Yeah, Mike, I guess sort of to follow up on that, obviously the track background and you see it on the field, but then the 40 time is 4.5, so not jump off the page kind of thing. I guess, how did you guys process that as you were trying to assess football speed versus timing speed and the whole combination there?
Absolutely. It's one of the measures that we use. There's GPS tracking data. There's other, the eye test. You kind of know who is pulling away from at that level of competition. We watch a lot of games. We attend practices, and the combine workout itself, the pro day workout, and he really doesn't often get caught. So I think it's speed is just one of the elements of his game. We like his competitiveness. We like his from the neck up. He really impressed in his interview. Another piece just from talking to Keenan, this is a guy that came from California and moved himself to Las Vegas, went to Bishop Gorman for high school just to give himself a chance to get recruited, found himself, playing in the Big Ten and gave himself a chance to be drafted in his hometown of Las Vegas, and kind of saw his dream come true today. So happy to have him.
Kevin, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. How much these days do you look at returnability for receivers and running backs at this point in the draft? NFL sort of de-emphasizing returns a little bit, but I'm just curious to what extent that's a priority for you guys.
Absolutely. It's not just returnability. It's punt and kickoff returns, but there's other phases of special teams where anybody that's not, the number one guy on the depth chart is going to have to play, and for Speedy, could he be a gunner? Could he be a vice? Could he do other things on kickoff coverage? Or, if he's not the kickoff returner on the front line, et cetera. So the more that you can do, I know he's the type of person that will do whatever he can do to make the team.
We'll kick it to Matthew.
Yeah, I was just hoping to ask about just late round wide receivers. And, this team tends to always pick one 5th, 6th, 7th round, but have had some success in doing so. Is there a particular trait that is shared by a lot of these guys who you have seen develop into role players on this team from the later rounds?
Yeah, I mean, there examples up and down the roster with KJ and BC and Adam Thielen, and even Diggs before them, guys that were later in the draft and or even undrafted. And the common theme you find with anybody really at all positions is the sort of the fortitude to either overcome where they were drafted or use it as motivation. But really, once you're in the building, it does not matter if you were a first rounder or seventh rounder. It's what you do when you get here. And so he's in the door. He's got a chance. He's joining a really talented group. And well, let's see how it all plays out.
Great. Any other questions for Mike? All right. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.